morning. This is the Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, we can hear you, sir. For some reason, your camera's offline. It's okay. That's an exasperated sigh. We are live. The kits are here. For some reason, your camera has gone offline. I don't know why.
How? Why? We didn't even touch it.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to
just click the gear icon and let's go into video and see what it says.
What the frickin' hell today?
I know. It's very frustrating. We're getting things worked out. We had a bit of miscommunication earlier, unfortunately, we didn't have as much time to try and set up as we would normally like to. So, bear with us if you can, kids. We're still going to get you a show, and just click on click on the camera. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's the one, and you should have options where it says full high definition. That's good. The one above it says video input.
Yep, no options.
No options, eh? Well, that's strange. Okay, you might have to jump in and out then because it seems to have eliminated your camera somehow.
All right, I will try it again.
Monday on a Tuesday. Isn't this fun, kids? I know it is for me. Why do I look so pink this morning? I don't actually look like that. That's very strange. Okay. Well, let's turn Mr. Beaver on here. Yeah. And have you got your ability to there's your share screen. Your camera looks like it's on. Click on the gear icon. And not any options. Okay, well, you know what? We'll worry about that later. The important thing is you're here audibly and we can hear you. And you got to remember, we do an audio version only of this. So for those of you watching at home, you only have to see my face this morning. And I'm terribly sorry about that because I'm not nearly as good looking. But we are here, we are live, and we'll try and give you a bit of a show as much as we can today. I don't know what's happening to the camera, sir, but we will figure it out. I promise you that. Don't fret. It's just a temporary minor setback. We are here. We want to thank our sponsors.
I'm so pissed off right now.
It's okay. It's okay. The Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, sorry. The Peppermaster and CanadianTarot.com. They're our title sponsors and have been with us since the very beginning. Actually, the very, very beginning. They actually signed on before we'd even sat down and recorded a demo. That's how much they believed in us. Well, actually believed in you because they didn't even know who I was. But, thanks to all of them for sticking with us for 3 years now. We're in our third year. So, yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let's try this again. And there's something weird happening in my headphones. I'm hearing white noise like crazy.
Okay. Well, we'll have to do a proper troubleshoot later. When I went in yesterday, I stopped by Mr. Beaver's place on my way home, and I only had a limited amount of time, so we did a setup quickly. We didn't have a chance to do a full tech test, unfortunately. So, we have these little hiccups, little gremlins in the system. We'll get it all figured out, though. And it was weird. Just like 2 seconds before we went live, everything was working. His camera was on, sound was good, and then all of a sudden it just went dead. I don't know what happened. Let's worry about that later, though, sir. Let's discuss the Premier of Ontario and his very big problem that he seems to have all of a sudden.
Okay, but we should probably do a proper intro for the
Go ahead.
podcast version.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't. It's what I'm hearing in my headphones is really aggravating to my ears. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to do this one without me. I'm sorry. This one's
Okay.
not working.
Okay, we'll figure it out afterwards then.
I can't even. Yeah, it's irritating. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. You maybe restart your whole computer and we'll get it. We'll get it restarted. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Dake. I just just have to tape it to the side of the screen. He's gonna jump in and out, and we'll get it all figured. We had it working, and then it stopped working. So I don't know. Computers can be complicated things sometimes. So I'll just give you a few minutes of entertainment here. He's going to do a full reboot, I guess. One of the things that we wanted to discuss this morning was how well, Mr. X, John Mutton, I guess is his name. John, Mr. X Mutton, or Mutton. I don't know how he pronounces his name. But not only did he, do this land brokerage deal, this dirty land brokerage deal, but he's in a whole lot of hot water. The Minister of Housing has just resigned. He's still very much keeping his seat as an MPP, though, because he can't let that good cash go to waste, right? So not only did he do that, but he also introduced, and there's a photo of it, which I will show on the screen right now, of Pierre Poilievre. So there's John Mutton. You can see in the foreground and in the background, we have a picture of Pierre Poilievre and Harley Guidon. Guidon. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's a member, apparently was a member of the Hells Angels, aka formerly Satan's Choice, and they were patched into the Hells Angels, or patched over, I guess they call it. I'm not sure. I just find that interesting because just a couple of years ago, Mr. Mutton was, when he was the mayor of, I think it was Ancaster. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. But he was happy to say Harley was now, doing time. But here we have him shaking hands, and there he is. Look at that. Here's the screen. I'll show you this. East Clarington MPP David Pinchy endorsed by Hells Angels, Satan's Choice affiliated Oshawa businessmen. John Mutton, David Pincini, and Harley Guindon, at a Piccini campaign event last month. That was May 25th, 2022. So interesting how the layers of criminality we see here are just absolutely outrageous. The tie-ins with actual known criminals. And I remember somebody was complaining that this Mr. X, as a consultant, was getting paid $6,000 a month. And I'm like, that's not a lot of money. It might sound like it, but you do the math. $6,000 a month times 10 months is $60,000. So add another $12,000 into that, $72,000. That's barely above the middle income class for somebody living in Ottawa. So that's not a ton of money for a consultant. but it was the $1 million bonus that he got when he brokered this deal by changing the rules so that they could get the land. It's about as greasy as it can be right now in the province of Ontario under the Doug Ford government. And I don't know how much greasier it can get. Like, this Greenbelt scandal is just outrageous. Oh, now I got something about the Freedom Convoy. What's that say? It just came across my feed. Freedom Convoy fascist roots are showing their true skin in a private live stream. Two gentlemen speak about the usage of a swastika and stated that Canada needs a nationalist socialist movement. So the Freedom Convoy showing their true colors as the actual Nazis we always believe them to be. In a private chat, which went public. Hey, I'm not going to air it because I don't feel like it, quite honestly. But I do want to get back to this land grab. And let me just see if I can find it. Greenbelt. I had the notes and they disappeared. It's really, really, really a gigantic pain in the butt. So it turns out that Minister Clark lawyered up and resigned. He has admission of guilt, and the RCMP needs to investigate, of course. Mr. X. The amount of people demanding Doug Ford to resign right now is just ridiculous. And here's a message I do have. It's a short 16-second message from the interim leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, Liberal Party of Ontario. And we'll just share this here for a second.
The smell of this thing, right? Insider knowledge, deception. It ties, like, when I look at this now, it's evident to me that it looks like all roads lead to the Premier's office.
You're not lying. They all do. They all lead to the Premier's office. Ford's Green. Let's see this. Okay, here I got another thing I want to read to you here. It says, Clark may be gone, but the smell of corruption lingers. Ontario Greens leader and MPP for Guelph, Mike Schreiner, released the following statement in response to the resignation of Housing and Municipal Affairs Minister Steve Clark. Minister Clark's departure was inevitable. Although it is a step toward accountability, Ford's Greenbelt scandal is far from over. A corrupt process led to corrupt decision to remove protections from Greenbelt lands. As it stands, wealthy Ford-connected insiders are still cashing in billions, and Greenbelt land is still under threat. So if Doug Ford thinks his minister's resignation is the end of the $8.3 billion Greenbelt scandal, of course, those numbers have been revised up to about $25 billion, but he is wrong. The people of Ontario deserve honest answers to how a corrupt process could lead to $8.3 billion in windfall profits for wealthy Ford-connected insiders. That is why the Ontario Greens continue to call for the protection of all Greenbelt lands and for an independent public inquiry into Ford's $8.3 billion Greenbelt giveaway. The days of deflecting, denying, and delaying are over. The Premier keeps assuring us the buck stops with him. It's time for him to step up and prove it. Of course, he won't, because Doug is going to do what Doug does and point the finger of blame elsewhere and say he didn't know, and I don't know, I can't micromanage everything, and yeah, pretty bad. Okay, just a second, Elaine. I'll see if I can find that for you. Let's see. Yeah, I got it right here. I will send that to you right away. I can't remember what your I think your Twitter handle is different though, Elaine. So let me know what it is so I can send it to you directly. Because I think your Twitter handle is different than your Facebook and your YouTube, correct? Anyway, this whole thing with the Ford government leading to the largest scandal in Ontario's history. You don't have Twitter, okay? I'll DM. Okay, it's on Twitter where it is. So I will have to. I'll have to share it in another means. Just a sec. I'll just copy the link and I'll send it over to you via the Facebook. Bear with me while I do that. So, folks, this is a level of corruption we have never seen before in this province. I mean, we're talking like just an absolute stink fest. Uh, I don't know what else to call it. Corruption, obviously, criminality, plainly, obviously, and looks to me like he's going to get away with it because that's what Dougie does. He gets away with it. His whole life, he always has. He's never actually, I think, accepted responsibility for anything, even though he'll tell you the buck stops here. No, it doesn't. The buck flows through your office, Dougie, to your supporters, your donors. Clearly $8.3 billion, which has now been valued up towards 24 or 25 billion. This is just, I just can't get over this level of corruption. And the thing is, they're not even good at it. I mean, they're not very smart people, obviously. Sure, they got in, they got elected, and they think they pulled the wool over our eyes with this, but the evidence trail is so large and so long and so public that they're bragging about what they've done. This Mr. X guy has got photos with criminals talking about on a podcast months before the changes were made on how he was going to change things to make it easier for the developers to grab land in an area where they don't need it when we already have land that's already been set aside for, 2 million homes? So this is all just to put money in the pockets of his wealthy donors, and it's all blowing back in his face, and I am here for it. It seems to me that people who have been doing bad things their whole lives and screwing people over their whole lives are finally finding out what karma is. They FA'd and now they're FOing. And the thing is, it's long overdue. Decades overdue. And I don't know how they're going to be able to handle the consequences of their actions when they realize how much shit they are in. Because Dougie he'll try and have a press conference, and then somebody will ask him a question, and he'll say that's pretty nasty, which he's already done, and he'll do again. And then he'll threaten a female reporter by saying, "Don't force my hand," because he's done that. We know what we're dealing with here. He's a corrupt wannabe mob boss. Wannabe. He's not, and he's an idiot. No, I mean it. He's not a smart man. He really isn't. Somebody would say, well, he was smart enough to get elected. He had nothing to do with that. That was Mike Roman and the rest of his horrible people that helped get him elected. All of those IDU type folks that helped get all the conservative parties elected across the country. These are not good people. These are not progressive conservatives. They're not even conservatives. They're just money-grubbing businessmen who want to put more money in their pockets by eating at the public trough, and in the process, destroying all of our sacred public institutions, like education and healthcare, as evidenced by the fact that they have new charter schools all across the province of Alberta, and they're popping up all across the province of Ontario as they continue to cut and underfund education and healthcare in the billions while they have a surplus of money that they're sitting aside. And still haven't accounted for, what is it, Alberta, I think, is missing $2 billion in COVID funds. And I know Ontario is missing at least $2 billion in COVID funds. That's federal money. That's money from every Canadian. And these guys just continue to go ahead and grift and steal from us on a daily basis and figure they can get away with it forever because they always have. Well, I got to fly in here, sorry. It's time that they figure out that not everything rolls their way. They are about to find out for all their effing around. And yeah, I'm happy about this, that it's coming to an end, that they're going to lose, that they're going to figure out that this won't stand. Because the people of this country, the people of this province of Ontario won't allow for it. And as more and more people across the country see what is happening on a daily basis, they're losing their shit, and justifiably so, because it's an act of criminality. It's, as David Wallace would say, Doug's just a bag man for a bunch of, well, other individuals. Many of them, in many cases, are mafioso types or wannabe mafioso types. I'm not saying they're actually mafia, but Oh, don't worry, Douglas. We'll figure it out later tonight. I promise you. We'll get this all figured out. We will. I will work it all out for you. I'll do a little bit of work in the background today when I have a few minutes to figure out issues, and we will get you fixed up for tomorrow. I promise. We'll just reconnect later on today. So don't try not to get too jazzed about it. I understand. I do understand the frustration when the technology doesn't work, because it happens to me too, and this is what I do. So we'll figure it out. I promise you, we'll get it all fixed. We'll be back as a team tomorrow. It's just my bald head today that you have to look at, and I'm sorry about that, folks. I should have put a hat on. Look at it this way: Douglas can still communicate with us. So you're still part of the show, bro. Still part of the show. It's just a solo shot for today while we get everything figured out. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time yesterday, so I'll figure something out later today. If I have to drive down tonight, I will. Okay, so I'll get you taken care of. Yeah, I know. We'll get it fixed. We get it fixed. Take deep breaths. Maybe check out my ASMR from last night. Some deep breaths. Yes, do some anger yoga. Work that anger out. We will tackle this fully, completely tomorrow, I guarantee you. We will be all over the criminality that is the Doug Ford government. I wonder who else is going to fall from this. I mean, Clark's resigned. He's resigned his position as housing minister, but he's still a sitting MPP. Doug won't step down. He will try and do everything he can to maintain his hold of power. But I think when all this is said and done, he'll be in an orange jumpsuit. Honestly, I do. I believe the RCMP will have to get heavily involved, and as they see so much of what's going on, and they probably have seen more than we have, because if they're actually starting the investigation, they would be slowly building a case, and to do so, they have to gather all the info, dot all the I's and cross all the T's, as the saying goes. And guess what? That does take a little bit of time. The wheels of justice are very slow. Remember that, folks. Unfortunately. And it's easy to grow impatient with the slow wheels of justice some days. I know that many Americans are feeling it, because it's been 3 years since January 6th assault on the Capitol, and still people are only getting charged now and tried now. Our system works a little bit quicker, but not a lot. The evidence gathering and the case building does take time, and they want to do it right. Well, you might be right about that, Christian. The RCMP is the OPP in red. I think in many instances, when it comes to the top brass, you are probably correct about that. The rank and file officers that function and keep the system running, I think that's a different story. But the brass, I think a lot of the brass is in the pocket of big business, because if not, I just don't know what to tell you. Well, Douglas, I'll get you figured out. As soon as I sign off, I'll get you figured out. What you might be able to do today, real simple, would be to unplug the microphone and just use your Rode mic, like the Rode kit that I set up, the portable Rode system. You could just plug that in, and that would work for you today. And then restart your whole computer. And that should do it if that's a concern. We'll get you all fixed up. Don't worry. I promise. I know. I understand the frustration. Believe me, because I have issues like this too. And yes, Elaine, you're correct. You could install Zoom on your phone if you absolutely needed to. We'll get you fixed up. I promise you that. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time that I wanted yesterday to run a full diagnostic, and we had it operational this morning, but then it went off. Reboot your system when you get a chance, and we'll go from there. That's the first step, is do a hard reboot. Shut it down completely. Let it sit for about a minute before you boot it back up, so that it can clear the cache of everything. And then we'll get you fixed. I promise you that. It's my job to do that. I mean, not only as a producer of the show, but in daily life, it's my job to make things work like that. So don't worry. Remember, breathe. breathe. Deep breaths. It will help. I promise you. It's what I do, remember, folks? I'm here to make sure that things work smoothly and we have a good day. All right, enough of that silliness. That's interesting. Yeah, he can't tell the RCMP what not to look at. The OPP he can bully. That's true. And don't forget, his friend, what is it, Ron Tavner, sits on the OPP board or something to that degree. I can't remember exactly. I don't have all the details in front of me right now. I'm dealing with some computer issues on my end too. Like namely why my camera has gone haywire this morning. I don't know. Either way. Yeah, that's not a good suggestion, Ree. Taking a hammer to the computer won't fix it, but it might make you feel better for a few minutes, but then you got to go out and get a new computer, and that's never a good thing. That's overkill. Look, I'm a guy who snapped laptops across my knee, okay? So don't worry. We will get this fixed up. I promise you that. But when it comes to Doug Ford and his level of criminality, the level of corruption, it's beyond belief. And each time I turn around, there's another new headline popping up. This is the, let's see. Well, let me just go to the latest. Yeah, here's the clip. It's comments. Hearing lots of details about Mr. X, John Mutton. Pretty sure that he's basically writing the Doug Ford, Steve Clark housing policies. Even his rants about the Greenbelt sound exactly like Ford. Now, this is from a podcast. I don't even know what podcast this is. I'm going to show 1 minute and 30 seconds of it. And, well, just have a listen to this. I guess this is, I don't know, the highest best use podcast. I'm not familiar with it, but let's just have a look at this, shall we?
But I mean, just generally identifying more land for housing. I think this is a big thing.
Oh, it sure is. And so the people that have been protecting the green belt, and there is a white belt, but protecting the green belt for years, have to understand that green belt was not created according to any scientific approach. It generally followed the urban boundary areas of a municipality. So I'll give you a prime example. When you go up Town Line Road between Bowmanville and Curtis, Clarington, you will see significant residential development on the Oshawa side, all the way north. You will see land on our side. You will see more than enough services that are right at the door. You don't have to build new water plants. The services are there. Those lands only make sense to be residential and to come out of the green belt.
Yeah. And they're regional services. It's not like it's one city owns a sewer. They're regional services.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the, so I think that's the, what they're going to have to look at, and they are going to look at, by the time the show comes out, we'll be ready to do another show on what happened.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay. I want to wrap.
So he's writing the policy, basically, is what it boils down to. He's handing it over to Doug. Here's a summary like this. This is from T-Dot resident putting these video clips together. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am, I'm not sure. I don't know. Thanks to T-Dot resident for posting these clips. This is a 16-second clip that kind of, it just sums it all up, I think.
Word of mouth and, big developments. But we do land severances and different things too, and rezonings and building permits that other people can't get, we can get. So.
Beautiful. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks. So.
Interesting, eh? We get permits that nobody else can get. Why is that? Why is that? just a level of corruption that is beyond understanding, I think, in many ways. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And the amount of people demanding for resignation from Doug Ford. Doug won't step down. No. He may get, pulled out in handcuffs. He may end up in an orange jumpsuit at some point, but I mean, for the time being, he'll just sit there and try and blame everybody else, throw everybody under the bus. No, it was this minister, it was that staffer, it was this. We're trying to build houses. And again, that line is such a tremendous line of bullshit. The province isn't building a goddamn thing. The province is building nothing. It's developers that intend to build on Greenbelt lands that Doug handed over to them for almost nothing, which are now valued at $24 billion in 2023 dollars, not 2016 dollars when they were valued at $8.3 billion. Building on some of the most valued farming agricultural land on planet Earth. I'm not making that up. That's not hyperbolic. That's a statement of fact. So it's just a way to give land to his friends for next to nothing that they can build on and make tons of money. Well, and the one individual who decided to sell some lands that Doug said, we're gonna take them and put them back on the Greenbelt. That was a donor to the Liberal and the Green Party. He didn't donate to Doug. So, he's got to cut that guy loose. Because it would be horrible if, anybody other than his friends had access to those fertile farmlands. The lungs of Ontario, if you will. The lungs of Southern Ontario, anyway. That's what the Greenbelt is. Exasperated all the damn time. I'm going to wrap it up there, folks, because I have to get into the office to take care of some things today. And unfortunately, like I said, Mr. Beaver had some tech issues. We'll get them sorted. We will get them sorted. But I thank you for tuning in, and sorry for the tech glitches today. We'll get them all figured out in the future. I promise you that. If you want, you can scan the QR code on the screen that for the True North Eager Beaver Media at the bottom of the screen. That will take you right to our website, our pod page website, sponsored by the Ray Girl. And if you want, you can donate money to us at our coffee page. It's ko-fi.com. The True North Eager Beaver, hyphen between each word. And if you look to my right above the road sign, is the QR code for our donation page. That's our coffee donation page. You can find us wherever you get your fine podcasts. But I'm told that if you listen on the Apple Podcasts app and you give us ratings, that helps us grow and it promotes us quite a bit. And as a result, we want to grow so that we can give you a better show. And of course, we can make some money at this. Makes it a little bit easier to pay for all of this because right now I owe money. So thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in each and every day that you do, for listening, for spreading the word, for subscribing to the YouTube channel, for sharing our content. We really do appreciate it. It does mean more to us than I think you'll ever know, actually. And it's so sweet of you all to send us such kind words online. To our email page. It really does mean a great deal to us. So we want to thank you for that. Again, thank our title sponsors, the Mystery Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, CanadianTarot.com, and the Peppermaster. I'm going to use some Peppermaster products this evening when I make I'm going to have some pasta, and I like my spicy pasta. That's a spicy meatball. If you're old enough to remember that ad for acid indigestion, you'll know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to take my leave as I got to get back to the office. I got to get to the office. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow with in-depth coverage on the Greenbelt scandal from the Doug Ford crime. Government. Doug Ford crime family? Government? Crime? Anyway, see ya.